In every office, there's a Kyle, the guy who misses deadlines, ignores emails, vanishes for 2 hours after lunch, and somehow still has a job. Quick cuts, empty desk, unread emails, co-workers frustrated. You've watched hard-working people get laid off. You've seen top performers burn themselves into exhaustion. Meanwhile, Kyle survives every restructuring like a cockroach after a nuclear war. And honestly, it makes no sense. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Some employees aren't protected because they're valuable. They're protected because the system is scared of what happens if they leave. And once you understand the 3 hidden reasons these people become untouchable, you'll never look at workplace politics the same way again. If you've ever worked with Kyle, hit the like button right now, because this video might explain your entire office. Kyle worked at a mid-sized tech company for 11 years. Nobody really knew what he did. Seriously, ask 5 people, you get 5 different answers. One person would say, "Oh, Kyle handles the server migration stuff." Another would say, No, he's the only one who understands the old client database." And someone from accounting would whisper, "I think Kyle built the payroll spreadsheet in 2017. At this point, Kyle was an employee. He was folklore. Meanwhile, on the other side of the office was Maya. Maya was the opposite. Organized, reliable, efficient, the kind of employee managers brag about on LinkedIn. She worked late, fixed problems quietly, never complained. And when deadlines got tight, guess who picked up Kyle's slack? Now, here's the part that shocked everyone. When layoffs came, Maya got cut, Kyle got a raise. And no, it wasn't because Kyle was secretly a genius. Kyle had become something far more dangerous, a structural load. A structural load is someone a company becomes dependent on, not because they're exceptional, but because the system around them is broken. Kyle stored information in his head. No documentation, no SOPs, no backups, no training process. Quick cuts of messy folders, sticky notes, chaotic desktop. He knew how to restart systems nobody else understood. He knew why certain reports randomly failed every Thursday. He knew which clients needed special handling. And management was terrified. Because what happens if Kyle quits tomorrow? Who fixes the chaos? This is how companies accidentally create untouchable employees. Not through talent, through fear. If this is already reminding you of someone at your job, comment, faced with tears of joy. Because we all know a Kyle. But dependency is only the first layer. The deeper reason untouchable employees survive is information. Kyle knew where the bodies were buried. Not literal bodies. Relax. This isn't Netflix. He knew which executive approved the failed project. He knew which manager manipulated numbers during Q4. He knew which systems were technically violating policy. The longer someone stays inside a company, the more dangerous their memory becomes. And here's the scary part. Sometimes management keeps difficult employees around because firing them creates risk. Think about it. Would you rather keep one annoying employee or risk them walking into a competitor's office with 10 years of institutional secrets? This is why loyalty in corporate environments gets weird. The company isn't rewarding behavior. It's managing exposure. Now, if you think this is just about lazy employees, it gets darker. Because the third reason untouchable people survive actually involves high performers like you. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns on the hidden psychology of work. Most people think offices run on performance. They actually run on pressure management. Managers don't just manage work. They manage blame. And Kyle became a buffer. When upper management asked, "Why is this department underperforming?" guess who absorbed attention? Kyle. The chaotic employee often becomes useful because they distract everyone from bigger failures. If the whole department is messy, management can point to Kyle and say, "We're dealing with a personnel issue." But if Kyle disappears, suddenly people start looking higher up. And managers hate that. This is why some dysfunctional employees survive for years. They become part of the architecture, not productive, not respected, just useful to the system. And honestly, once you understand this, a lot of workplace behavior suddenly makes sense. You stop asking, how is Kyle still employed? And start asking, who benefits from Kyle staying employed? If this video is changing how you see your office right now, hit like, because part 2 is where we talk about how smart employees accidentally protect these people and how to stop doing it. Because here's the twist nobody sees coming. Kyle didn't survive alone. People like Maya kept saving him. Every time high performers quietly fixed the mess, they protected the dysfunction. And that changes everything. Because the goal is not becoming untouchable through incompetence. It's becoming visible through strategy. In part 2, I'll show you why hard workers accidentally trap themselves, how to stop subsidizing broken systems, and the exact strategy smart employees use to become irreplaceable without becoming exploited. Subscribe before part 2 drops. Because once you see how these systems really work, you stop playing the game emotionally and start playing strategically.